Hello, Dr. Lonnie Treese here with Willow Tree Counseling in Seattle, Washington. In this video, I'm going to talk about my book about the highly sensitive person, but I would like to start by acknowledging that the person who coined the term and did most of the research and has written many books on this is Dr. Elaine Aron, A-R-O-N. This is an example of one of her books. She wrote the book, The Highly Sensitive Person. This is the workbook. And she also developed a questionnaire to help a person determine if they are highly sensitive or not. You can go to hsperson.com to take that quiz yourself and look more into her work. I wrote kind of a Christian version of the book, and my book is this one. It's called Sensitivity from a Burden to a Blessing. It's currently only available on Amazon in print and Kindle. And the quiz is also available in the very back of my book. So basically the concept is that a person can be born with a highly sensitive nervous system. Their nervous system is much more sensitive than the average person. And this is found, in fact, in about 20% of the world's population around the world, equally in men and women. And by nervous system, it can really be any of the senses, but that can include visually sensitive, auditory, touch, empathy and emotions, and your own body sensations. I have noticed that if a patient talks with me about having panic attacks, being sensitive to medications, and being very conscientious, those are some of the very high correlates to being a highly sensitive person. But with the quiz, if you're 14 or above, you're technically considered a highly sensitive person. And I do want to say, and this was true for myself as well, the first time you take the quiz, you're probably going to underrate yourself. And then once you read the book and you talk to a therapist, you start to understand what the questions are really kind of getting at. You retake the quiz, you will probably be a good 1 to even 4 points higher than what you originally thought. So the first time you take the quiz will probably be an underrating. So that would be a good way to start, is take the quiz. If you're 14 or above, then get a book about it and read the book and contemplate in yourself how you see evidence of being a sensitive person showed up in your life over all of your years. And it can really make a lot of sense out of different things that are in your life in the past and currently. And then you may want to talk with a therapist about that, especially a therapist who knows about the highly sensitive person concept, and learn to accept it about yourself and even embrace it. There are some very positive qualities about being a highly sensitive person. One of mine is empathy, so that helps me with my job. Artists tend to be very sensitive, musicians, and sensitivity can really help you help others. So after you've kind of accepted it and embraced it, then you can empower yourself to set boundaries about your sensitivities. Like if going Christmas shopping 2 days before Christmas at the mall is just gonna set you off, then you have a boundary that you don't do that. And if someone needs to run and get a gift, a family member will do that for you. For me, I don't like getting too cold, so I tortured myself for many years with jumping in hotel pools with my 3 kids and kind of acting like I'm having fun when I'm actually shivering and too cold. And after I met with a therapist and understood my different sensitivities, I asked my husband, hey, I'm sensitive to cold. When we go to a hotel pool, would you be willing to be the one that gets in the pool with them and I'll go hang out in the hot tub? And he said, fine, no problem. So things like that to empower yourself to go ahead and have better boundaries to protect your nervous system. It's helpful to explain this to other people, especially a spouse. It's also helpful to know if your own children are sensitive, to know how to better parent them. It's very helpful to explain this to other professionals who are treating you, especially medical professionals. I will describe to you a situation that happened years ago where the lady was referred to me by her medical professionals because she had been in an accident and they had done x-rays and seen the problems in her body, had done physical therapy and different forms of treatment, and she did everything like a champ and it did get better, but she still described feeling it inside her body. And they did more x-rays and MRIs. They could not see any more damage. They basically told her, it's all in your head, everything's fine, you're imagining that. And they sent her to me, basically with a diagnosis of anxiety. So I worked with her and we did the HSP quiz. Turns out she's incredibly sensitive, and she was actually feeling these very slight differentiations within her body still left over from the accident. So I was able to reassure her that she's not crazy. I believe her. She's actually feeling things that many people would not feel. And another thing Elaine Aron writes about in her book is that to become a medical doctor, everything you have to go through to become a medical doctor pretty much rules out a highly sensitive person. I have tremendous respect for doctors. I myself couldn't have done it. It's fabulous how they are so smart and so capable to help us, but they don't tend to be HSPs themselves. And so they don't tend to think about things along those lines. So you might have to kind of educate your doctor or try to explain it to them. And other than that, I would recommend you read a book and maybe choose to read my book if you would like. All right, thank you.